Great, so find a comfortable seat. And again, if you want a blanket or pillow underneath your hips to support lifting them a little bit more, you can do that. And then we'll begin with rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And then bring your fingertips to the eyes, palm to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or just having a soft gaze gently downward. Send your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibration. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning. Excuse me. And set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. Continuing this full deep breath, gently begin to lengthen the exhale, slowing it down, allowing it to be longer than the inhale. When you reach the end of the long exhale, gently allowing the lungs to fill, and then slowly releasing and lengthening the breath. Take one more full extended breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. And bringing your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tip of the thumb and pointer finger to come together, and bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find the connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all of who you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And then with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press your shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulder blades back and down and lift the heart. Gently drawing down the shoulder blades and strengthening the muscles around them. And now pressing the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart and squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. Opening the arms wide, turning the palms up. Draw the lower corners of the shoulder blades down toward each other, lifting the heart a little more if that feels okay. If it feels okay, you could flex the wrists, pressing through the palms. And let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist, or bringing the hands to the shoulders if that feels better for your elbows and shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently press the elbows away from you. Breathing into the upper back, softening the jaw and the neck. If it feels okay, you can begin lowering and lifting the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. If it feels okay on your next inhale, you can lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And then as you exhale, round the spine, being careful of your low back. Just let the weight of the arms open the back a little more. As you come to your next inhale, come back to the center. We'll unwrap the arms, open wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay, squeezing the shoulder blades back toward each other. And then bringing the arms in front, this time left over the right. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand wrapped around the wrist, or hands on the shoulders. Lifting the elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing, pressing the elbows away from you. Breathing into the upper back. Allowing the jaw and the neck to be soft. If it feels okay, you could begin lowering and lifting the elbows. Again, if it feels okay with your next inhale, you can lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And with your exhale, rounding the spine, letting the arms hang down, opening through the back, being careful of your low back. And with your next inhale, we'll come back to center. Unwrapping the arms, reaching them out to the sides. Let's rotate the palms up, tuck the shoulder blades down. Keeping the shoulder blades tucked, you can rotate the palms forward. And then just continue following the breath, rotating through the inner shoulder. And now let's begin rotating the wrists. You can have the palms open or have them into fists if that is preferable for you. And reverse the circles. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart. Interlacing the fingers, we'll press the palms out in front, roll the shoulders forward, round the spine and drop the chin. With your next inhaling breath, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and let the chin gently drop toward the chest. Soften the elbows, rolling the upper corners of the shoulder blades back toward each other, gently squeezing those upper corners, wringing out any tension. Soften through the back of the neck. Allow the jaw to be relaxed. And if it feels okay, you can press the palms up a little higher, listening to your body. With your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Take a breath in and out. Let's bring the left hand to the right knee. Right hand behind the right hip. Face forward, deep breath in. As you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Lifting your heart with your inhale, gently twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. Noticing the shoulders, allowing them to soften down the back. If it feels okay for your neck, you can turn your chin over your left shoulder. And then coming back to the right. With your next inhale, lift the right arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the right hip toward the mat, lifting your heart, and reaching through the fingertips. Chin is gently away from the chest. Breathing into the right side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And take a breath in and out. Then bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left. Head comes around last. Lifting your heart with your inhale. Gently twisting through the exhale. Softening the shoulders. If it feels okay for your neck, you can turn your chin over your right shoulder. And then coming back to the left. Right hand stays on the knee. With your next inhale, lift the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Left hip drops toward the mat. Heart lifts. Fingertips reach across the ceiling. Chin is gently away from the chest as we breathe into the left side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And let's extend our legs out in front of us. You're welcome to keep the blanket under your hips if that feels better for you. We'll extend our legs out, pointing the feet up toward the sky. Lengthening the spine, shoulders back and down. And think about engaging the quadriceps, both the inner and outer quadriceps, by drawing the kneecaps up. Toes pointing up toward the sky. If it feels okay, you can gently lift the heels off the floor. If that's challenging, you can try one leg and then the other, just to get the hang of engaging those quads. Once you have the quads engaged, think about pressing through the heels, lifting through the crown of the head. Shoulders are soft. Hands can rest on the legs or floor. Reaching out and up. And then with your next exhale, soften the legs. We'll inhale, reaching the arms up. Then exhale, gently fold over just as far as feels okay. Hands on the legs, floor, or feet. Inhale, lengthening the spine. You can soften the knees. And as you exhale, gently fold over a little more, ribs coming toward the thighs. Listening to your body, lengthening and softening. Easing through the low back and the hamstrings with the breath. Finding that edge and just gently softening around it. Your next inhaling breath, lift up tall. We'll bring the hands a few inches behind our backs, fingertips pointing toward the hips. You can either keep the legs extended or bend the knees, facing the feet hip-width apart. So we can either work with inclined plane as a counter pose or reverse table. Keep lifting here. So do whichever version feels right for you today. Thinking about keeping those elbows bent rather than locked when we lift up. So with your next inhaling breath, lift the hips up high. Exhale, gently lower and hover if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, listening to your body. Elbows are slightly bent, hips pressed high. Head is extended out from the spine, or gently tucking the chin toward the chest. And then we'll gently lower and shake out those wrists. Let's roll gently back onto our spine. Legs extending out. Gently scanning the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, neck is nice and long. Soften around the hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And with your exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Vision toward the right arm, just as far as feels okay for your neck. Relax the muscles around the hip. Ease the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending your leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Let the sitting bones gently drop down as your low back arches. Then tucking the pelvis, press the low back into the mat. Draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Belly muscles draw down, reaching through the heel. Stay here, or if it feels okay, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down or rest. You can stay here or flex the left foot, gently lifting it off the floor. And you can stay here or release the hands. Gently lowering the left leg with your next inhale. We'll lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. We'll bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, neck is nice and long. Softening around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And with your exhale, gently twisting over the right side of the body. Vision toward the left arm. Release the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the chest. With your next inhale, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky, taking hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. And as you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching and spiraling out each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, gently drop the sitting bones down, arching the low back slightly. Then tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat, drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Reaching through the heel. Stay here, or if it feels okay with your exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, or rest. Gently flexing the right foot if you'd like, lifting it slightly off the floor. Stay here, or if it feels okay, release the hand. Gently lower the right leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. Exhale, gently lowering the left. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in. bend the knees, placing your feet on the floor. Tucking the shoulders under, arms alongside the body. Neck is nice and long. We'll gently press the shoulders back and down into the mat for one end of our bridge. Lift the toes, spread them wide, and lower them down to the mat for the other end. With your next inhaling breath, scoop your pelvis and begin lifting the hips, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. And as you exhale, slowly lower, again, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. This time you can hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If you're holding, think about pressing back onto the shoulders slightly. Chin stays a little bit away from the chest. If you'd like to add a chest opener, you can rock your shoulders underneath, interlacing the fingers or holding onto a strap. If your fingers are interlaced, have the palms pressed toward each other. Elbows can be bent or arms extended. Lifting high through the hips. Opening the heart. And then gently rolling the shoulders out if you have them tucked under, and lowering the spine down. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat, drawing the belly muscles down. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. If you'd like, you can place the right hand on the right thigh, gently pressing the knee outward. If it feels okay, you can lift the left foot off of the mat, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Gently drawing the knee toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Right foot is flexed to protect the ankle. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under. And send the breath to the right hip. Releasing any worries or frustrations stuck in the hip. Allowing them to float away on the breath. And gently release. We'll switch legs. Right foot on the floor, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Again, you can place the left hand on the left thigh, gently pressing it out to the side. Or if it feels okay, lifting the right foot off the floor, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Gently flexing the left foot as you draw the right knee toward the body just as far as feels okay. Neck is nice and long, shoulders are tucked under. Sending the breath to the left hip. letting go of any anger or anxiety stuck in the hip, allowing it to float away on. And we'll gently release, bringing both knees over the torso, hugging them in, breathing into the belly of Apanasana. From here, you can either roll to your side, pressing up with the palms, or slip the hands behind the knees, kicking the feet over the head, and gently rocking up. And then we'll come forward onto our hands and knees. If you'd like an extra blanket or extra padding underneath the knees, please go ahead and add that. Bringing our hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, softening the elbows. Head extends out from the spine. Gently tuck the shoulders back and down and draw the belly up toward the back. Strong table pose. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath, strengthening through the back on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. One more breath. And with your next inhale, come back to table pose. Softening those elbows, let's reach back with the right leg, dropping the right hip down so the hips are parallel to the mat. Flexing the right foot, reaching back through the heel, engaging all the muscles of the leg. If it feels okay, you can lift the leg a little higher. Lift the heart, shoulders are tucked back and down. And if it feels okay, you can extend the left arm out. Let's lower the left hand, draw the right knee in, round through the spine. And then let's step the rest of the way forward with the right leg, walking those toes out so that the knee is stacked over the ankle. So think about pressing the right hip back, left hip forward, and gently dropping down through the front of the left hip. Pressing into the right foot, you can stay here. You can have some blocks under your hands if you'd like, or you can bring the hands to the knee. Again, really keeping that right hip pressed back, left hip pressed forward, softening through the front of the hip. If it feels okay, you could bring your hands to the heart. You could bring them into cactus pose with the elbows out to the side, or arms over the head, whatever feels right for you today. And if it feels okay, you could add a little arch in the back. Let's float the hands down, placing the left hand on the mat or block, right hand on the right knee, twisting the torso to face the thigh, lengthening the spine. If it feels okay, sweeping that right arm up, gently twisting a little deeper. We'll float the right hand down, placing it on the inside of the right foot. Pressing the shoulder and knee against each other and sweeping the left arm out. We'll float the hand down and gently rock the hip back, lengthening through the right leg. You could walk the hands back closer toward the torso if that feels better. Toes can stay on the mat, or you could lift the toes, coming onto the heel, feeling that stretch through the calf. And then we'll gently bring the foot back down, bring that right knee back to meet the left. Bringing our hands underneath the shoulders again, softening the elbows, extending the spine out. Let's reach back through the left leg, dropping the left hip down, hips parallel to each other. Flexing the left foot, pressing through the heel, activating the muscles of the leg. If it feels okay, you could lift the leg a little higher. Lift the heart. And if it feels okay, extend the right arm out, keeping that left elbow slightly bent. We'll bring that right hand down, draw the left knee in, rounding the spine. And then gently bring the that's your left foot forward. Coming into a lunge, walking the foot far enough forward that the knee stacks over the ankle. Again, you can have hands on the floor or on the block. Think about pressing the right hip, my words all of a sudden got mixed up. Left hip back, right hip forward, and softening through the front of the right hip. Pressing actively into the left foot. You could stay here, or again, bringing the hands to the knee. Hands to the heart. Elbows out at cactus or arms over the head, whatever position for the hands feels right for you right now. And again, if you would like, gently adding an arch from whatever position your arms are in. We'll float the hands down, placing the right hand on the inside of the left foot on the floor or a block. Left hand on the left knee, turning the torso to face the thigh. Stay here, or if it feels okay, sweeping that left arm out. And floating the hand down, placing the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Pressing the left shoulder and knee against each other, and with your inhale, if it feels okay, sweep the right arm up. We'll float the right hand down, extending that front leg, pressing back with the left hip. You can walk the hands back closer toward the torso. Lengthening through the spine. Toes can stay on the mat or lifting the toes, extending the stretch down to the calf. And then we'll bring the foot back to the mat, and then bring the knee back to meet the right. We'll walk our hands a few inches out from underneath our shoulders. Tuck the toes under and press the hips up and back into downward dog. Softening the knees, pressing back through the hips. Head is between the arms with the chin away from the chest. Let the shoulders roll back toward each other. And if it feels okay, after pressing back through the hips a little more, you can gently begin to lower the heels down, lengthening the legs just as far as feels okay for you today. Really focusing on the length of the back. See if you can have the weight be even between the feet and the hands as the hips reach high. And then we'll gently bring the knees down and lower onto our bellies. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll zip the legs together, pressing the pelvic bone into the mat. Shoulder blades tucked down and back. And with your next inhaling breath, let's lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, reaching through the feet, lengthening through the spine. And if it feels okay, you can lift the hands off of the mat. And then gently lower the head and chest. We'll press the hips back to the heels, coming into child's pose. If that doesn't feel good for your knees, you can also choose reclined puppy with the hips stacked over the knees. From either position, have the forehead resting on the mat, on stacked fists, or on a block, so that the forehead is supported. If you're in child's pose, your arms can be out in front or wrapped alongside the legs. Breathe into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Releasing the weight of the body to the earth. We'll bring the hands under the shoulders, roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, shoulders up and back and down. If you'd like, you could tuck your toes under, gently stretching the bottom of the feet. You can sit back on the heels. You can be up in the kneeling position or have the hands on the mat, gently rocking back. So whatever feels good for you to be able to give the bottom of the feet a little stretch. If you need to take a break and untuck the feet and then come back, you can do that as well. And then we'll bring the hands to the mat, bringing the soles of the feet back to the mat as well. And bring the feet about hip width apart. If you'd like to have a block underneath your hands, or if you want your hands on your shins Softening the knees. Lengthening through the spine, letting the back of the neck soften and release if that feels okay. Lengthening the back of the leg just as much as feels okay. It's better to really soften through the low back and have the knees bent more deeply than to strain the back trying to have them too straight. With your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And as you exhale, hands to the heart. Let's work with Vrksasana tree pose today as our standing balance pose. So if you'd like to use the wall, go ahead and have the wall toward your back. So we'll have our feet about hip width apart. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes and spread them wide as you lower them down. Finding a focus spot for your gaze. We'll turn the right knee out to the side, shifting the weight to the left leg. You can rest the heel at the ankle, gently lifting the toes, working on balance here. You can bring the foot to the calf or bring the foot into the groin, gently pressing the foot and the leg against each other. When you find your steady place, bring your hands to the heart. Rooting through the foot, lifting up out of the hip gently. Stay here or begin extending the arms up, palms together or apart. Softening the shoulders. Gently pressing the right knee out if that feels okay. Rooting and lifting, finding your center. And when you're ready, gently bringing the hands back to the heart and lowering the leg down. We'll shake out that left leg and find our balance on both feet again. Shifting the weight to the right leg, finding a focus spot for our gaze. We'll turn the left knee out to the side. Again, the heel can rest against the leg, gently lifting the toes, or bringing the foot to the calf or into the groin, gently pressing the foot and the leg against each other. When you find your steady place, bring your hands to the heart, pressing into the foot, lifting up out of the hip, soften the shoulders, and if it feels okay, grow those branches up, palms together or apart, whatever feels right for you today. Soften the shoulders, rooting through the foot, lifting through the crown of the head, finding your steady center. Listening to your body. When you're ready, bringing the hands back to the heart and gently lowering the leg down. We'll shake those legs out. And then let's bring the legs nice and wide. We'll turn the right foot toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back. Hips face the long end of the mat. Inhaling the arms out at shoulder height. We'll gently bend that right leg, coming into Vratny-Smith 2, Warrior 2. Vision over the right hand. Rooting into the feet. Imagining roots growing through the floor, down into the earth. Feeling that connection with the earth. Draw up whatever you need from the earth. Breathe it in through your legs into your heart. Letting it fill your spirit. And if there's anything that overflows, let that flow out on the breath through your fingertips into the world. With your next inhale, gently straighten the front leg. We'll drop the hands down and gently interlace them behind us, rolling the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we'll bend the right leg again. We're going to bring the right shoulder toward the right knee as much as feels okay for you. Coming into oh my gosh, the name is exquisite. Escaped me. The bowing Buddha warrior. There we go. And you can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could tuck the head down, looking underneath the leg. So just going as far as feels okay for you today. Pressing actively to the feet. And with your next inhale, we'll gently press into the feet, lifting up tall. Then we'll release the hands and switch our legs. Left foot points toward the short end of the mat, right heel drops back. We'll inhale the arms out at shoulder height, tucking the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, bending that left knee, having the knee stacked over the ankle. Vision over the left arm. Heart lifted, shoulders are soft. Again, feeling those roots growing through the feet, down through your floor into the earth. Drawing up whatever you need from the earth. Patience, energy, whatever it is. To your heart. Making sure that your spirit is full. And if there's any leftover, allow it to flow out on the breath to someone you know who needs that same quality in this moment. With your next inhale, we'll gently straighten the leg, dropping the arms, interlacing them gently behind the back. And as you exhale, we'll bend that left knee, bring the shoulder toward the knee. And if it feels okay, drop the head down, looking underneath. Keeping both legs nice and strong. Sometimes that back leg wants to let the front leg do all the work. Pressing into the feet with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll bring both feet to face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms up over the head, lifting the torso up out of the pelvis. As you exhale, swan dive, hips out behind us, and we'll drop the hands underneath the shoulders onto the floor or block. If it feels okay, you could walk your feet out a little further. Think about softening the knees, pressing into the feet, and lifting your sitting bones up toward the sky. Spine is nice and long. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, walking the hands over to the right leg. Hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh and lengthening down over the leg. Right hip lifts up toward the sky. And we'll walk back to the center and over to the left. Hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. Pushing into the foot as you lift up through the left hip. And then gently coming back to the center. Let's walk our feet a little closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. We'll work with Malasana squats. If you'd like a block, you can place that in the center behind the heels. To Bend the knees, working with a high squat, dropping the hips down here, working more on strengthening. If you want to work more on opening, you can drop the hips down onto the block or by the heels. You can also come all the way down to the mat, walk the feet a little further apart, and press the elbows or upper arms into the thighs or knees. Whatever position you're in, think about lengthening the spine, tucking the shoulders down the back, softening through the hips. And when you're ready, lowering the rest of the way down. We'll bring the soles of the feet together to meet in Baddha Konasana. You can bring the ankles or the hands to the ankles or toes. Lengthening the spine tall, shoulders back and down. About engaging those outer hips to draw the knees down a little bit more if that feels okay. And you can stay here or lengthen the spine, gently tilting at the pelvis as you reach out over the feet. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And we'll come back to a cross-legged position. Sending the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With your next inhaling breath, reach through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tucking the right shoulder back and down. Breathing into the left side of the neck. Gently letting go. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder. Tucking the left shoulder back and down. Breathing into the right side of the neck. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder. Shoulders are back and down, heart is lifted, hold and breathe. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder, hold and breathe. Heart lifted, shoulders back and down. And with your next inhale, come back to the center and let the breath go. Let's gently bend our knees, coming to the center of the mat. If you would like to go ahead and cover up a little now, go ahead and start that process. Then when when you're ready, around the spine, taking hold behind the knees, and gently lower back. We'll bend the knees, lifting the legs up toward the sky. You can rock your hands or walk underneath the underneath the hips to support the legs, lengthening the spine. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. Now let's bend the knees, rock the hands out from under the hips or walk out. Bringing the knees into the chest, tucking them in. You can gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back if that feels okay. Or you can also bring the knees in and out, making small circles. If you're making circles, you can gently reverse those. If you would like one last twist, you could bring the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, or bending at the elbows. Knees together, dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left. Softening through the spine. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center. And as you exhale, lowering the knees to the left, vision to the right. To the mat. Shavasana, you can walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, rest the knees together, or extend the legs out. You can have a blanket or pillow underneath the knees to support or to ease the low back a little if you would like. And going ahead and covering up with a blanket if you have something available, just to keep the warmth in your body as you rest. So if your legs are extended, allow the feet to be about hip width apart. Arms are slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Tuck the shoulders back and down. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release your muscles from the bones, rhythm them to the earth, feeling its strength and support beneath you. And let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting. you're ready, you can gently roll to your side on your knees and rest again. And then gently returning to a sitting position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings awaken to the light of true nature. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you all so much.